My man.
How are you?
Hey,
Nice to meet you. What's up, bro, man? You know I had to come. You know I had to come.
let's go, man. We made it in person.
How you doing?
Good, good, bro. Let's chill, man.
Yeah, good. Good to see you, man.
And we're here doing the hybrid, man.
I see you. This is nice.
Yeah. Doing the hybrid, trying to, make things happen.
Yeah.
Edu. Man.
Moving around.
Good, good, good.
Make sense of the
So they got this thing, right? So it's like it follows you. This here right here.
Oh.
This is an owl. So like if you talk, it'll be like this, focus on you.
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They got this hooked up, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No.
We're just waiting on a couple people. I know we're being live streamed, so welcome to anybody who's joining us on Facebook, on YouTube. Welcome to everyone. So we'll start in a few minutes. We're gonna get some time for people to come into the meeting. While we try to work, get this adjusted, this new hybrid meetings. This is going a lot smoother than the first one. So it's good. Okay.
Oh, so it's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Let me get this out of here.
Yep, thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
looking
you.
good, man.
Thank you.
That thing looks very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Second time, yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, I was impressed with my brother first time.
It was like echoing.
Yeah, that's definitely how it sounds.
Good, good. Hey, Ashley, Castillo, Mark, how are you? Ashley, I'm gonna promote you as a panelist.
Oh, let me also go to my desk and give you no business here.
Hi, Joel Keys. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. How you doing, Ashley?
I am well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a couple people to get on. Our meeting doesn't start till 7. So hey, how are you? How you doing? So just give us a few minutes to get started, all right?
Sounds
Hey,
perfect.
Mark, I'm guessing is
Yeah.
this the
Mark will be joining us.
Yeah, I am here, Ashley.
Sorry, Mark.
great. Right. Please, thank you. You doing, dear?
Good, and you know.
I'm doing well. Can't complain. That's good.
Right over to that side.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
got the big table.
yeah. So just so you guys know, Ashley and Mark, we have some people in person, part of the committee in person.
Sure.
So we don't see anybody on the actual, Zoom, but we have some people here in person. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
just curious to know, where are you located?
so the community board's office is located on 166th Street in Alianza's building. I think it's like,
Okay, got
it's
it.
530 West 166th Street. Hey, Jackie.
Any other members, they see you and
Hey, Jackie.
Hello?
Hi, Joelle. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Do you want me to sign it?
So in this one, yeah, please, thank you. Hey, Sarah, thank you for joining us. We're gonna give folks
Okay.
about
Thank you.
Good, good. I see you, Zara. We're gonna give folks about another 4 minutes or so while we work out some kinks here on the tech side of things, and then see if other people come and join. Okay.
John, do you know if all the committee members are coming in person or you have
Yeah.
some of the folks that are gonna?
I have Carl
He's gonna be.
here in person.
Oh, in person.
So I know that I need I have
What's the signing sheet?
Yeah.
How many people you have there?
I got 1, 2, 3.
No, the total.
The total is 8. So I
So
need
you need
5
5.
for quorum.
Then you need 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. So
So Carl-
Carl.
And
And-
Emily or Carl and, let me
Well-
see who you have.
Oh, Alexis. Alexis is gonna come.
Okay,
Alexis.
so then you're gonna have it.
Yeah, hopefully we have it.
Joel, yeah, let's see, so, yeah, we didn't need to, the one, Hector come in,
Mhm.
Bruce come in, Carl come in, anybody, and
Yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome. I know you're gonna go over the budget, but just so you know, there's a few copies here,
Mhm.
people wanna see it.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna do I know maybe I'll share my screen and we'll do like an Excel to do capital expenses.
Mhm, mhm.
And
You have
then-
the email that I forwarded you, right?
Yes, I do. I do.
Let me see who did.
Welcome, Elizabeth. I just promoted you to a panelist, but welcome. I give folks another 2 minutes or so to join. I really want to make quorum because apart from Ashley, your presentation, I know you're on the agenda for tonight's meeting. We also have budget discussions that are due for next month. So, and are going to be voted on in October for the general board. So we have to talk about it and we need quorum to vote on these things. So just got to give folks to come here. I think we need like 2 more people so we could get quorum. So.
Mhm. They're both, they're gonna be hybrid only, so if you can pop in, you can go on Zoom and see. Cool. When, Medea, you were the last one to join them, right? There was, the door was open. You had no issue getting in. Okay.
Okay.
And there's people outside that open up.
Alright.
Yeah, I was in the office on Latin night market,
Mhm.
which is like around the corner. I live on Cummins Street.
Oh,
Yes. And I've been planning.
to go there.
Yes, so
Wow.
when I got off of work at like 10, it was still kind of going on, but like the
Mhm.
food wasn't.
Yeah.
You went though, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
No, it wasn't me. I
It was
saw it
crazy.
online.
It's really nice.
No,
Lot of
I hope it
food.
becomes permanent.
Yes,
Yeah.
hopefully next year we can have a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Um,
awesome.
I just like they do the Uptown Night Market.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be like under, towards Dykeman, but on I guess at the east side, where there's that overpass or whatever.
Yeah,
That would be a great spot, yeah.
it's gonna be tough, and we'll talk a little bit about like when we I think that's number 2 on our agenda. All right, guys, it's 7:06. It's October 3rd, 2023. Can I have a motion to adopt today's agenda? Motion from the committee, please.
Yes.
All right. Can I get a second? Masita, second. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Business Development Committee for Community Board 12. My name is Joel Keys-Abreu. I am the chair of Business Development. It is good to be here, guys. It's a second hybrid meeting, and it's working great. I have confidence in our staff here. This is good. So as always, I like to introduce everybody on the committee. I don't think we have anybody in Zoom from the committee, but we have some in person. So my name is Joel Abreu, or Joel Keys-Abreu. I've been on the board for about 2 years and a half now. Born and bred here in Washington Heights. I'm a native. I have experience in banking and used to work for JP Morgan Chase, and now I run the committee. It's been a great time, and I love my neighborhood. So just gonna go around. Hey, Alexis, how are you? Mansita, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm not sure where to.
Yeah, you can look. So it's a good feature. Look right there.
Hi,
Right here.
my name is Mansita Diawara, and I have lived up here. I've been in with for about 10 years. I'm originally from downtown New York. This is about to be my first full year as a CB12 member, and I was with you last term and this term for new business. I think this is a great committee, and we always have interesting discussions that I hope now that we're in person can actually lead to more collaborations with people in the neighborhood.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mansita. It's great to have you in the committee again this year. Radia, please introduce you. Radia is our newest member of the committee, so welcome. I know this is your second meeting, so please.
Spanking new. Hi, my name is Radia Barnes. I'm new to the committee. I'm so excited to join. Born and raised in Washington Heights, even though I'm right on the border. At one time, it might have been called Harlem. I'm like 157, so I'm right on the border. Just excited to join and get to know everybody and get a feel for how things work around here. So I'll be leaning on a lot of.
All right. Welcome. 157. We still have it. That's Washington Heights, baby. That's good. That's right.
The Greeks and the Dominicans made this.
Hey, Bruce. I know you just joined us, but I'm gonna pass it to you, Bruce. Please introduce yourselves. This is our OG in the community board. Bruce, introduce yourself, please.
You mean old guy? What is OG? You said it. Okay. I'm the old guy.
Camera.
I'm the old guy at 158, a block away. So, well, I'm glad to be back on this committee, and I'm sorry I'm not there in person. I'm not feeling too well. I had a rough past couple of days. I'll be there next time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Feel better. I know it's that time of year. Hey, Carl.
We have quorum.
We have Guy in quorum, which is great. That's good news. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate your help.
All right, I'll send everything in the morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alexis, I know you're getting ready and you just walked in, but please introduce yourself to the committee.
Hi, Alexis Marnell, 5-year public member on Parks and Culture. This is the first year I was appointed. So now I'm vice chair of Parks and Culture, and now I'm here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And shout out to you, Alexis. Great minutes last month. I really do appreciate your help. Doing that for us. I know you just walked in, Carl. So please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
So my name is Carl, member of this committee, and I'm sorry to be a bit late, but this is good. Thank you.
Better late than never. Thank you so much for joining us, Carl. Now, because of you, we made quorum, so that's good.
All right.
I feel so important.
So, I would like to start off our meeting by wishing everyone a happy Hispanic Heritage Month. It started September 15th. It's a good month to celebrate all our backgrounds from South America to the Caribbean. I'm proud to be a Latino, so That's awesome. So it does end October 15th. So make sure we support local businesses, local restaurants. Speaking of which, let's talk about some events that are happening for my minority women-owned businesses this month. There's a special designation that is given to businesses across New York City, and they have two events. One is being held by the New York City Comptroller's Office, and the other one is the Manhattan Borough President's Office. So one of the events, it's going to be held on October 4th. It's from 6 to 8:30. The location, I can look it up for you guys. I think it's going to be, oh yeah, it is on Zoom. So for details, I will put it in the minutes so we can have that. It is on October 4th, and I'll send it to the board so they could shoot that out. And we also have another event for MWBEs happening here in Manhattan. It's going to be on 163 125th Street. It's going to be on October 11th. And this event, I think, is going to be very good, especially because they're going to show you, and this is held by the Manhattan Borough President's Office. They're going to show you why it's important to have that designation and how you could take advantage of government contracts with that designation. So very important, October 11th from 3 to 6, 163 125th Street. So be sure to tell everybody who does government contracts or anything of that nature and have that, or doesn't have that designation and wants to learn how to do it, and make sure you disseminate that information. So moving on, another announcement that I have, and this is like a great program. Shout out to John and Tom from Yeshiva University for creating this innovation lab. The innovation lab is what used to be a program that introduced Israeli startups into the American market, has now become a kind of a business incubator for businesses and startups in the Heights. And they're holding their second business, their business in the Heights, their hive in the Heights. And this is what it is a free consultation for anybody who's in the neighborhood to come in and hear what the innovation is all about, and kind of get consulting from the counselors in the innovation lab. It's a great program. They do this every semester, and there's an opportunity for your business to grow, to even be accepted into the next innovation lab. So I recommend everybody to come out to this event. It's going to be October 26th from 6 to 8 in the Radio Hotel. It's in collaboration with the Washington Heights Chamber of Commerce. So it's a great program. You get to come out, meet people from the Yeshiva University, the Innovation Lab, pitch your idea, and also get some consultation. So October 26th, 6 to 8 at the Radio Hotel.
And I'm sorry, what, can you just explain to me a little bit more about what that lab is?
So the lab, it's basically, if you have any idea or have a current business, you're going to get consultation in this specific event. But the Innovation Lab, technically what it is that Yeshiva University has a master's program, a digital marketing master's program. And if you get accepted into the Innovation Lab, they become your consultants on how to grow your business from a marketing standpoint. It's a great program. There's a couple, I know there's I believe it's New Haven Car Service was part of the last Innovation Labs, and they were able to create a website for them and had true success to be seen because of the program. And yeah, if you can get accepted into the program, I know they have a limit on how many businesses they can accept, but this night is to kind of give an introduction to that. And they will have consultants in that event. And so if you have any questions in regards to legal services or grants or loans or access to funding, they're gonna have that there. So again, shout out to John and Tom for running the innovation lab. So moving the agenda along, we also have another event. These announcements are very vital, by the way, to all of our business owners, because they provide so much resources. They, all these events, you go to them, you learn, you pick up new things, you connect. So this is why every time in our first maybe 30 minutes of our meeting, and I'm telling you about all these events, is because it's vital. And our job is to disseminate that as a community board. So the next big event is also on October 30th, from 6 to 8. It's cloth, Jackie. I know we have a bid formation event happening. We kind of had an event like that here in the meeting where we learned about what a bid is, what it takes to form one, what are the grants to do that, and what's necessary to build that. And we're gonna have that. The cloth is gonna have that October 30th from 6 to 8 p.m.
I just need to add one thing. It's the invitation is extended to the business committee.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't have anybody's email, so.
Okay. So it's extended to the business committee?
And it's gonna be at the,
For Triumph Pub.
Yeah, actually Alexis has the information, and so does Bruce.
Okay.
And you. But it's going to be at Fort Washington Public House, excuse me, on Broadway and 165th Street. And it's predominantly for Broadway merchants, so we could, speak about what we're trying to do with the bid. It's been, hopefully we'll have a good turnout. Hopefully, your community board members, business committee members will be able to join us. And finally, we encourage, if you have any direct relationships with businesses along Broadway between 155th and 178th, please reach out to them and ask them to attend. It's just very, very important that they are informed and kept looped into what we're doing. Okay.
Thank you, Jackie. We'll do. Yes. We need them to be engaged, those business owners in that area. So thank you, Jackie. You have that information, right?
yeah, I'm gonna,
Okay.
I already stopped by the Greek diner, man.
Good. Good. Good.
And then I got all this free food to go home with.
Good. Okay, so moving on, we have huge news coming out of the cannabis industry. Previously we used to focus heavily in this committee on this, but we kind of moved it to the task force, but I think it's very important to mention it here. So October 4th, this is tomorrow. Tomorrow we will, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. So tomorrow, October 4th is the first day that you can apply to have a marijuana license in the 9 licenses that are available. This is apart from the card licenses. This means that tomorrow you'll be able to go onto the website. I believe it's New York City Express. But you go to the OCM website and I'm pretty sure they'll lead you to the application, and you can apply for any of the 9 licenses, which is a great movement. I'm pretty sure it's going to be flooded tomorrow, this page, because this is a great opportunity. And I know this is going to be great for the economy of Washington Heights and Inwood. Keep in mind that it's only open for 60 days. So 60 days that you have this window to apply. Previously to this application, the only people who had licenses for retail dispensaries were the card licensees, and then also any growers or any processors. So processors, growers, and retailers are the only ones who are able to touch cannabis and use it commercially. So it's important to get the word out. All right, 50% of these licenses are going to be given to minority, women, and veterans. So it's important to get the word out and talk about this. It's going to be a huge boom. And another thing to mention here is that they have a mock application on the OCM website. So prior to you applying to the actual license, either a micro business or you know, a smoking lounge, retailer, or distributor, all these licenses, you can see them, what they're going to look like in this template. So look on the OCM website on the documents, and on the documents you'll be able to see the format on how this application is going to go. So I encourage the committee members and the general board to disseminate this information to anybody who's interested in getting into the cannabis industry. Another big news in the cannabis industry is that the Senate passed the SAFER Act. The SAFER Act allows now, well, it hasn't passed because it has to go to the House, but the SAFER Act allows financial institutions not to penalize cannabis industry participants and businesses. So this is great for the development of this industry, and hopefully we can make this law so we can facilitate transactions in this industry. All right, so that's that on cannabis. Any questions so far? I know there's a lot of information.
What is the OCM, like, what's the exact one?
It's the Office of Cannabis Management. Okay.
Question.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, good. I see some new people came on. Okay, great. So, hey, Leo, you have your question?
Hey, Joe, again, thank you for providing all this information. You and the community do a great job at letting the business owners in our community know the resources available to them. My question is, does the board or anybody that you may have contact with provide any help in case we do know individuals that want to apply for these licenses, but you know it's complicated for them? Is there any help you guys provide or anybody that we can point them to?
That's a great question. So I don't have there is a great company that does like seminars. Dutchy is a company that rolls out, and I encourage you guys to visit this website. They have I think weekly seminars on different subjects, but I also encourage everyone to look at our previous meetings on YouTube. We've had people from the OCM come on this board and explain the 9 licenses. In I think it was November of last year, we had someone for the OCM and from the advisory board come on and explain that. I also can provide, if you know anyone that is interested, I can provide the deck that they gave us that day. So yeah, if you know anyone of Leo, just be sure to point them in my direction, or they can go on Dutchy, which is a great resource.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I did notice that there's a couple other people, and I want to get them for the minutes. So Hector, I know Hector's part of our committee. So Hector, please introduce yourself. I don't know, Hector, you there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe. I do want to introduce a couple of people that are also on here that are also a part of the board. One of them just spoke. Leo, introduce yourself, please.
Leo Jimenez, Community Board 12 member. Thank you.
And I know Ms. Tanisha Grant, always good to see you here. Please introduce yourself. She's also a part of our community board. I don't know if she hears me.
Hey y'all, Tanisha Grant, Community Board 12. Good to be here. Always good to sit in on this meeting.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Appreciate your attendance. So moving on. Oh, she's also on the board. Thank you. I'm gonna see that. Hi, Carmen. Introduce yourself. I know you're part of the board. Thank you. You're muted, Carmen. Sorry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carmen. I'm a new Community Board 12 member. It's a pleasure to join in this meeting. I've sat in a couple of them, so I'm really excited to be here this evening.
Thank you. So moving on. So our next meeting, I want to quickly mention this. One of the hot topics of the summer was outdoor dining and how that affects our local businesses. It has been made, Mayor Adams in August signed this into law, that this will be permanent, but with some regulations. So outdoor dining is huge. It drives our business. It was one of the few good things that came out of the pandemic. So there are still regulations from DOT that haven't come out yet. So we're having someone from the New York Hospitality Group come in, and he worked on the legislation to come in and explain to our businesses exactly what regulations are going to be. So that's going to be on our next meeting, but just wanted to shout that out really quickly. Okay. I see I have a hand up.
Yeah, Joe, I'm sorry, it's me, Leo again. Is there any way that we can sit down with you and Debbie? I'm a co-chair for the Traffic and Transportation. And, this is something up our alley that we've been trying to, kind of break down and see how it affects our streets. So if we can plan on the side to meet soon and see if we can have a joint meeting in the near future. When you have that attendee, it would be great. So if we can set that up with Debbie, I'll reach out to you and so we can figure out a schedule.
All right, we'll do. I don't know the specifics yet because we haven't coordinated, me and the lawyer that's going to come in, but we'll coordinate, Leo. Thank you. So another thing that I also like to do on this committee is showcase, because a big issue especially with beginning businesses is access to capital. And I want to, shed light on grants, loans, anything that we can generate some capital for startups or even businesses that are trying to scale up. This is very important information. So I know that, and I got this from Cloth, so thank you, the Community League of the Heights. Hello Alice has a small business growth fund. That's Hello Alice. Has a small business growth fund. It's due at the end. It's a grant that's due, and the application is due at the end of the month. So please take advantage of that and spread that. That's vital capital that's needed. And thank you, Alexis, for this next one. American Express has a community impact grant that is also due this month. So that's something that it's more obviously not public, but private funding. But again, can help any businesses that is trying to, grow or start. So, and in that same sentiment, something great came out of the Small Business Administration, Small Business Services of New York City, the Fund Finder. The Fund Finder and the company called Next Street created this kind of kind of marketplace of all the loans. I'm sure, Moira, you're aware of it.
Yeah, we're on there.
Yeah, you're already on there, because I'm gonna tell you, you must gotta be on
Yeah,
there.
we got on there early.
Good. So, this is kind of like a marketplace of all the CBFIs, all the government loans that you could take out. Kind of like a one-stop shop for funds. And they customize it depending on what your profile is.
Who's the custodian?
It's the small business services
SBS and next street.
and Next Street.
Oh, okay.
So it was great. It just came out about a week ago, and this is great because this is kind of like, hey, I need funding. Where do I go? And they'll be able to point you to this direction. So Fund Finder, you can Google it, and it's live right now. So in that same note, UMass today is part of our agenda, and there are CBFI that's located in Upper Manhattan, Harlem area, and they have some programs that can help fund our businesses. So I'm gonna have a few announcements before we get there. I think I have one more announcement actually. And I'm gonna share my screen for this one, so just bear with me. Hey, Emily, how are you? Welcome. Okay, so my last announcement is, and sorry for the delay, we're just having some technical difficulties here. Okay, so the SBS has a customized training grant. This customized training grant is a lot of specifics. Your business has 10 or more employees, and they offer a grant through reimbursement for any specialized training that you have to do for your employers, your employees, sorry. So if you have a business, you have 10 or more employees, and you want to host a specialized training, obviously that there's some cost involved in that. The SBS has a grant that can reimburse you for that. I have the pitch deck for that. If you know anyone that's, and I'll forward this to you, Alexis, so you can have it, that is offering a specialized training that is probably cost heavy. I think the grant is from 10 to 40,000. So it's a great opportunity for, mid to larger businesses. So keep that in the back of your head. But that's it for my announcements. And sorry, there's a couple announcements, but I have to get out because it's vital information. So we're going to move along to our agenda. Our agenda item number 2 is the Latin night market. Man, what a success in my eyes. The Latin night market was held last Friday. It was the 22nd. Great food, great environment, no disturbance. Marco, shout out to your team. If you're watching, MHG production it was just a great event overall. We're looking to expand it next year and make this a series of events, just like the Uptown Night Market and the Bronx Night Market is. I gotta tell you that I can only imagine if we include more vendors, right? If we, include more businesses in the area, it's gonna be great. But this was a great first show. And I want to give a huge props and shout out to his team. But I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your feedback about this event, especially the committee. And did you attend? And what are some things that we could improve? And what are some things that you liked?
Unfortunately, I didn't attend. I couldn't.
Okay.
About how many vendors were there?
I think it was 20 20 to 25.
And it was just one location.
Yeah, it was just one location, from Seaman to, yeah, it was from Seaman to Payson. The vendors were there, and then after Payson, from Payson to Grant to staff, there was like a stage.
Didn't they have 2 stages?
Yeah, there was, but that stage was technically not part of it. It was just the Quisqueya Plaza doing it. They just coordinated. So,
I saw a lot of social media. I didn't get to attend. I was trying to make it a time. Social media looked fantastic. It looked like everybody was having a great time. I heard music. I saw food, people eating.
Wow.
It seemed like such a great community event.
was.
Something that definitely should be repeated, because things like that, that's what you need in your neighborhood. That's what brings, you know, your neighbors together, and then what brings peace. And yeah, I think I was so happy to hear there was no issue. Disturbances, so that cherry on top.
Yeah, definitely. Also, just to piggyback off that, it drove revenue on the other businesses that are on that strip. Every restaurant that was there was packed, which is great to see.
Let me ask you this: is it something worth considering to have it sometime in the summer?
Yeah, so this, and we spoke about this when he came on, and we did that resolution for him for his permit, that this is going to be like a test, right? A beta, if you will, like of this event, because the Uptown Market is done every 2 weeks. On 12th Ave on 125th Street is done every 2 weeks. So I spoke to Marco. Marco, loved the idea to do this, and again next year. And he said he wants to do it like that.
I imagine it will be really powerful in the summer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
More daylight.
Yeah.
Out and about.
Yeah.
I went.
Yeah. How was it for you, Alexis?
It was great. I ate. Steve Simon made fun of me because he said, I know who's gonna get more food. I'm like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But it was, we had so much fun. I thought the Paramount booth thing was very cute. And they did like a little, some guy standing there doing like a little Polaroids, or I don't know what they call them anymore. So my friends and I got a little Polaroid together. It was and I really wanted to eat more food, but then it got too crowded. But we did go to one of the local businesses to get adult beverages.
They're good.
And
drinks, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's one thing I would say. Also, it was a little bit crowded. I think that's a good and a bad thing, but I think if we expand it, if we lengthen the amount of coverage, right?
There weren't so many lines. People didn't know if people were standing on line for food or they were just standing.
I got muddy in the middle.
Yeah, and this is important feedback that I'm going to give Marco, and I'm going to invite Marco back on to the committee when it's that time next year to give him that feedback. Anywhere? Oh, I have Leo. Leo?
Yeah, Joe, and your committee, I just want to give you guys a shout out for passing that resolution. First of its kind in our community board. I think it's great. We got to see a lot of new faces, got to see how this works in our community. My only feedback would be that the board and the committee specifically provides some type of support to Marco and his team to give more outreaches to our businesses. I don't think we were really represented well at the event. I know that Marco provided a few waivers to several businesses in our area, but nobody took advantage. So I want to see us as a board, go to these businesses and encourage our merchants to participate. I think it was a great event, and would love to see the money stay in the community.
Where are the vendors from?
So
Unable to attend. I was at work.
they were from different parts of the city. I think we had like 4 vendors from Washington Heights. The reason why is, and I spoke to Marco about this, is that they were very hesitant, right? Like they were hesitant, like, oh, I don't know about this event. I think it was primarily because they didn't have proof of concept, right? So
Plus
I
they
think,
had to pay too.
yeah, and plus they had to pay, but we did have waivers to offer.
I mean, I feel like the Uptown Market, and then there's one in the Bronx. Then they have this new vegan one. That
Yeah, in Central Park.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the fear of unknown that kind of happens a lot up here. We need to like work on that. Just letting people know it's okay. Change is, it's not change, but just sort of like this will help the community.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
if we shun these things, then they'll just bring people from the outside to do it. So it's,
Yeah, that happened with us with the Lion Restaurant Week. Is a great opportunity to market yourself. We got pushback. Same thing for cloth and the new bid. It's pushback because there's like a kind of paradigm shift on like, oh, I'm here to help you instead of like sell you something, right? So and I think it's important to like Leo said, to increase outreach. But like I said to Marco, once they see the success of this event that happened last week, it's going to be like, yeah, sign me up.
Exactly.
Sign me up, right?
Exactly.
So it's important that we get like footage and things like that when we do outreach and we're like, listen, look at what happened last year. You can be a part of that. But thank you for your input. I don't know, Carmen. Carmen De Rose, are you here? Are you a representative? Are you? I can't even see. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, it's Jamila, not Carmen.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, hi, Jamila. How are you?
Good, how are you? I'm
How's
multitask.
it?
I'm also at a tenant meeting, so I'm just listening and being here in support. But I did want to say that unfortunately, the SAPOS, which is the street permit office, was giving him a lot of pushback for this event because of community input. And the 34 precinct was trying to be helpful and be diplomatic, but he was getting a lot of pushback and he had to cut from 45 businesses to 30. So I did ask him, I said, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks off so you can relax after this stressful couple of months, but I wanna know if those 15 businesses were some of ours. And I know that he also was talking with the bid and he also with Inwood Merchants Association to do the outreach, but I did get the same answers of businesses not really wanting to be part of it for now, or saying that it was too expensive, or that they don't have the capacity to put, a little tent with the girls and all that stuff. But I do agree, Joel, they're definitely gonna want to participate next year once they saw how great the event turned out. And hopefully it'll be bigger and he won't have to cut any businesses, because the event was on Friday and he was told on Monday that he needed to make it into 30 businesses.
Yeah, and I also heard that those agencies kind of showed up before the event as well. So I know he had a difficult time, and I think he also told me that I think it was like 4 of them that were locally that participated. So yeah,
that number sounds correct. Definitely, I think it was 4 or 5, and they did 2 walkthroughs with him. That's how you know that they were very hesitant about bringing it to the plaza, due to a lot of 311 phone calls in that area. And once the event was they started promoting it, a lot of people were contacting the street permit office directly, telling them to please not allow this to happen.
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Wow.
Yeah, that needs to be worked on.
Yeah, and also like apart from outreach of like the businesses, we need to do more outreach to the residents in that area. There's like maybe 4 or 5 buildings that I think should be more of a part of so they can feel like they're a part of it, right? And they, are not shocked by this event.
And reaction.
Yeah. So I think they should be a part of that event because that is their space. So that's a lot of good feedback. When Marco comes on, we can talk to him about it. Jamila's also in contact. I'm in contact with him, so I'll share that feedback with him. But overall, good event. I'm looking forward to it again next year. But thank you everybody for their feedback. Yeah, sure thing.
Because just like I didn't get to go to this event, but because I had another thing to do, but I know that like for any market, the biggest issue I feel like for consumers is the cost of the plates. So like most of the plates are like $15, $18 and up, and it'll be like big plates. So that'll be an uptown night market. So then one of the reasons that I even decided not to go was like, oh no, it's probably going to be the same situation. I already just went to uptown night market. Why am I trying to pay $20 for a little plate? So I don't know if that was like a similar situation at Latin Night Market. Perhaps they do have like little things like empanadas, but that wasn't the case in like every single business when I went to Uptown Night Market, and I don't want an empanada from like 5 different businesses because that's all they have as the small dish. So I know that places like in Queens, they have that night market in Queens where they all have like a fixed price and everyone gets to like taste 10 different places because the prices are lower versus just choosing 2 places because both of the places that you want to try are $20 each.
Yeah.
But then it's probably because they don't charge them as much. It's like a huge park, a very huge space. You're not like in the middle of a bunch of buildings and like all the lines are crossing with each other, and then you also want to get by. So that's also an issue that happens in Uptown Night Market. So I don't know if this will be big enough to where you're gonna need a bigger space now that everyone knows about it. But maybe it's something to consider where we may have to like go to a
Expanded.
different place.
Okay.
Like I know that Uptown Night Market, it's like, it's in a weird place. It's not like in the residential area and the sound goes out into like the river. But if you're in literally in the middle of a residential area, you're always gonna get somebody who complains. So, and I know it doesn't go too late, but yeah, saying like, if you still want to use that little plaza for that kind of like public, maybe the different type of music, you know, let them know it ends at this hour and have more outreach about it and be like, this is gonna happen. It's gonna be a little, you know, we're gonna have music. So just like expect that. But that's the most we could do. We're still gonna get complaints no matter what. And I still think it's gonna be crowded, even if we like plan as much as we want.
Yeah.
And if we get more businesses next year, then that's gonna be the issue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Are there any grants that we could, or some sort of like, I guess we can do like a grant resource guide for some businesses that wanted to do it, but just found it, like you said, very cost prohibitive? There were these 2 young ladies that I worked with over the summer when we did our vendor pop-up, and Martha Scarvey, and they had this great idea. They do high-end Jello shots. They found it really
expensive.
Yeah.
So they and not the community board, but I know the bid and I think Inwood Merchant Association had waivers. And I don't know, you know, that's for them to like figure out, but yeah, maybe the introductions of more waivers I think would be great, especially for our local businesses. So maybe that's a suggestion we can bring into Marco. But thank you for your input. We'll put that on the minutes so we can refer to them and give this to Marco. So thank you. So moving along with the agenda, we have our first speaker today. It's the New York Life. New York Life is a little bit more than just an insurance company. It's a whole solution company. They have strategies, investment strategies, saving strategies, life insurance, things of that, and investment vehicles. And they also have business solutions. I'll pass it on to them and they can tell you a little bit more, and they're going to present Ashley and Mark, right? I have Mark still and Ashley. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much, Joel Keith, for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to actually be here tonight. And it's definitely my pleasure. My name is Ashley Castillo, and basically, I do work with a lot of business owners, just like people who are here. And our goal is basically to show you some concept and strategies to help the business grow and help the community as well. And yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Mark, which he will show over the 3 buckets for now. And then of course, moving forward, if let's say you guys want to have a one-on-one and we could discuss more about business solutions.
Okay, thank you, Ashley, and thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm Mark Nazareth. Thanks for inviting me tonight. And my role in New York Life is I'm one of the development managers in the office. So I am not in active practice like Ashley. I really work with our agents and the clients that they serve, and I'm really more of a resource in our office. But I'm going to share a couple concepts. I know there seems to be a lot of business owners here, so I'll touch upon some of the things that that we help address with people that are in the small, mid-sized businesses, those that are self-employed. But I think from a more general standpoint, there's usually a couple concepts that this is kind of what piece that we have called standard of living. And everybody's trying to grow their standard of living to the point where they're getting into the comfort or the luxury. And there's two things that drive our standard of living, and that's our income and our assets. And those are what's pushing our standard of living up. But on the other hand, there's some challenges along the way, and we have some forces that are pushing back. And among some of them, it could be taxes, inflation, death, disability, and retirement. So really New York Life's role with the products and services that we have is really to kind of, as you see in the picture, to provide that wedge to make sure that should something bad happen, right? Nothing, your family, your lifestyle is not going to take a step backwards. So two things I'll just touch upon quick before I go into the three buckets that Ashley mentioned. One is taxes. So this is one that I've kind of shared for a while over the years. I've been fortunate to be with New York Life in my 28th year. If you took $1 and you double that every year for 20 years, you see here that you'd have over $1 million, okay, after 20 years. Now, on the other hand, if your dollar doubled every year, right? So we're saving money, and if you're paying 24% taxes on the money that your interest, your growth that is happening, what you're going to see is that you're going to lose almost $1 million to taxes cumulatively over the years. So that's really where New York Life has a range of tax preferred solutions that our products offer to help in that regard. The other one I'll just touch upon briefly is inflation. Okay, and this is just to kind of stress the importance of starting now versus later. Even if you can't do everything that you want all at once, taking that first step is sometimes the hardest, but also the most important. And this is taken into account. Obviously, we're a life insurance company, and it shows a $100,000 death benefit. But you really take into account if you had a $100,000 asset back in 1990, what would that purchasing power be today? So I'll make this a little bit bigger. This is just kind of showing collectively over the years that $100,000 asset that you have in today's purchasing power is yielding less than half of the original amount. So that's again kind of the importance of starting early, getting ahead, so that you don't lose the time value of money. So what Ashley asked me to touch upon is we help people in a number of areas. Certainly in the area, I like to say at New York Life, we help people to make sure they have enough money in case they die too soon, make sure you have enough money in case you live too long, and protect you with disability and long-term care in case you become sick or injured along the way. So as people are looking to grow their wealth, usually we find people have assets in one of what we call our three buckets, okay? And there's what we call our taxable bucket, and that's the 1099 now. There's tax deferred, which is 1099 later, okay, where you pay taxes down the line. And then there's a tax-free bucket where you don't pay taxes on the back end with distribution. So where are people allocated? And this is one of the things where actually you can have a one-on-one consultation with you, or maybe we could have a more detailed presentation at a future event. But the taxable bucket that you see over here, right? That's important to have money in this bucket for a couple of reasons. One of them is liquidity, right? And some of the more common assets that people will have in this bucket is they'll have money in a savings account, perhaps a checking account. Maybe you have some mutual funds or a brokerage account. And the benefit of that, I have money in this bucket is I need to pay my mortgage next month. I need to pay my credit card bill, my groceries, utilities, right? So you need to have money liquid. And that's the benefit of having money here. The downside, the limitation is, if you're having money in your savings account, bank accounts, you're not necessarily earning, up until at least recently with the higher interest rates, you're not necessarily having your money work much for you. And then also if you have investment accounts like a mutual fund account or a brokerage account, you're paying tax on the growth, whether you use that money or not. I'd say a lot of people have probably the largest liquid assets there in terms of savings in the next area, which is the tax deferred distributions. And I'd say probably the more common assets that people have that we come across is people will usually have a 401k or they'll have a traditional IRA. Now, with a lot of individuals that have smaller businesses or self-employed, some of you may have heard of, or you're actively participating where you have what is called a SEP, a simplified employee pension, or if you have a business where you have a few employees, that you might have what we call a simple IRA. All of these plans, what they have in common is that the benefit, working for a bigger company like New York Life, I'm fortunate where I have a 401k. And the nice thing is when I put money, if I put $10,000 into my 401k this year, my taxable income gets reduced by $10,000. So that's a savings. Kind of that previous slide where we had a 24% tax bracket. I could be not only saving for retirement, but I could also be reducing my current tax liability by $2,400. Another benefit of this bucket is all the growth in the money grows tax deferred. So if my 401k grew by 10%, 8%, 3%, 12%, I don't get a 1099, okay, unless I take that out. Now, why shouldn't an individual like myself or all of us here have all of our money in this bucket, okay? Because there's some limitations. I'd say the two limitations primarily is time and money, okay? What is time? Well, the benefit of having money in this account is that you get a tax deduction and it grows tax deferred, but the time aspect is you really can't take this money out without penalty until you're 59 and a half, okay? So, again, I just turned 50 this year, so I could kind of see 59 and a half at this point, but, my earlier years, right now I have 2 kids in college, I got a third on the way. So I don't want to be taking money out of this bucket to pay for their college because I'm going to pay a 10% penalty plus ordinary income tax, which is going to push me into a higher bracket. Also, when I retire, I have to pay taxes on the back end. So it's good to have money here. It's just we don't want to be completely having kind of that old saying, all your eggs in one basket. Now, kind of the third quadrant third bucket that you see is, kind of that tax-free bucket. And you see there's a couple assets here. There's a Roth accounts, like a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, 529 plans, municipal bonds, and there's cash value life insurance. Okay, so all of those assets that I listed in this quadrant, kind of the limitation is the money that I'm putting into a Roth IRA or a 529 plan, my permanent life insurance, I do not get a tax deduction on the money that I put into those programs. I'm paying with after-tax dollars, but I like to say that that's the best part. Okay, that's the best part because the growth in all of those, be it a Roth account, 529 municipal bonds, cash value life insurance, the money grows tax deferred, and if you take it out properly, it could come out tax-free. Now, just to kind of go over some of the assets. Now, what a municipal bond is, that's usually for people who are in very high income brackets. And usually municipalities like the city of New York, where they issue bonds to borrow, to fund capital projects for the city location that they're at. But because they know that they're tax-free, they often, they offer a much lower interest rate than other fixed investments. 529 plans. They're a great plan. I have one for all 3 of my kids if you're saving money for college. But what if your kid doesn't decide to go to college, or right? There's some limitations. If you take money out for a non-qualified expense, there could be, you're going to pay tax on the growth plus a 10% penalty on the growth portion of it. Roth accounts. Roth IRAs are a great way of accumulating money for your retirement. The money that you put in, back in the day, I was able to put money into a Roth IRA. I didn't get a tax deduction, but it's grown tax deferred for the last 25 years. The limitation is I have to wait till I'm retirement age, till 59 and a half to take it out. So cash value life insurance is another vehicle that people can save for some of their longer term goals. They're funded with after tax dollars. The growth in the policy is tax deferred. But one of the benefits of my own personal life insurance policies is I can access that money and I can do so before 59 and a half without a penalty. Okay. Also, having a proper amount of life insurance is really part of that foundation of building your financial house. And because all the plans that we mentioned before, be it an IRA, a 401k, a 529 plan, they're all good plans, but they have one potential flaw, and that's that they're not self-completing, right? And when I say that, sometimes people, well, Mark, what do you mean self-completing? Well, that means the 529 account, my 401k is only good as my ability to continue to fund it. So if I pass away, New York Life's not going to continue to pay my income to my family. That's where life insurance is going to provide a tax-free death benefit where my spouse, my kids could continue to maintain the same standard of living. So they're not going to take that step back financially. Kind of going back to that original page that we had, that standard living, we want to make sure we're providing that wedge. So I want to be sensitive to everyone's time. I think, Ashley, is that a good place to kind of land, or what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead, Ashley.
You guys have any questions? I mean, this is just a start. I definitely want to see and hear more of your concerns and just see where you guys are at today. I'm not sure like how long the business has been established. The people, are they new business owners? But definitely would like to have, like I said, one-on-one and just see where you guys each stand. And if you have any questions in regards to what Mark just discussed.
Any questions for them? And thank you for sharing. Thank you so much, Mark, for sharing that information. Extremely valuable to hedge inflation, and you guys do a great job doing that with your funds. Any questions for Mark or Ashley? Hector.
How's it going, everyone? Hector Bonilla, Community Board Business Development member. By the way, great presentation, Mark. And this pertains to both Mark and Ashley. Let's say a business owner already has life insurance. What would be like your, I guess, pitch as to why they will be open to having a conversation with you out of curiosity?
I don't know what we want to, kind of the first step is there's no product really being presented at the initial meeting because right now, Hector, you and really everyone here, I really know nothing about anybody. Ashley, just being in the community, might recognize some faces and know who people are, but I don't. So really, the opening meeting is to get to know what's important to you, who's important to you, kind of where you are, your current financial standpoint, what are your goals? And then kind of working from there to see if there's any potential solutions, be it on the life insurance side, be it saving for retirement. If kids are in your life and in college, something that's important to you, we help in that area. Some of the more senior, people, they might be concerned about. We have 3 different long-term care solutions. And really what that is that's as we're living longer as a society, the number of people who need long-term care services has grown tremendously over the last 30 years. So we have solutions to help in that area. We have a range of income annuity product solutions to help people. If one of the challenges if you're a self-employed person, and this is even really for anyone who's in probably the private sector, you don't have the pension that my grandparents had, 30 years ago when they retired, where you worked at one place for 30 years and you got that guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. As people started living longer, companies did away with those. So more people are retiring with more money in savings, but fewer sources of guaranteed income. And that's another area as people get closer to that point where, New York Life actually can be a resource to help them.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, Mark. And if you haven't already, can you provide like just some contact information?
Yeah.
For not only myself, but for generally everyone else. If you haven't already with Joel.
Yeah, Ashley, just give us your email and maybe if you have an office. And I'm going to put this in the minutes to make sure that everybody that is in this meeting gets it and the office is shared by the office. So just your email and your contact information.
Yeah, of course. I actually was trying to add it on the Q&A, but it doesn't allow me to. So if you can, please just, it would just be my my number, which is 917-775-3734. And then 3734. And then my email is ACCILLO@ft.NewYorkLife.com. Yes.
That's AC Castillo at ft.newyorklife.com.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you, Mark, for that great presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Just to move along with the agenda, just wanted to, we mentioned him earlier. Mr. Moran Espino is here from the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone. It's a CDFI that gives funding to businesses in Upper Manhattan and in the Bronx. He's here with us today. He's a frequent visitor of the committee, and welcome, Moran.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's good to see familiar faces, and it's good to meet all of you. Thank you for having me today. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but just like Joel said, I represent the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone. That's NUMES. I'm the Senior Business Development Officer for them. So NUMES has been around for 29, 30 years. You know, they're a CDFI that predominantly helps minority business owners in the Upper Manhattan region, so all of Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. Some of our primary focuses are around cultural investments. You know, we provide grants for cultural organizations uptown. We do workforce development, like technical assistance and employment training, and business investments. So it's two-pronged. We do transformational real estate and also small business lending. So I'm in the small business lending team, and I wanted to focus on our product that we have. It's called the hybrid microloan. It was initially made to aid some of these businesses that went through the pandemic and that were affected. And so the actual program consists of a $50,000 loan at 3% for a 4-year term. Now, the good thing about the program is that after 3 years, certain conditions are met. You know, you pay on time, you're still in existence as a business, then we convert the last 25% of the loan into a grant. Now, we started this program about 2 years ago. It's going to moonlight at the end of the year, so December 31st. And so we want to disseminate all the money that's left. And I want to make sure that more businesses here in this community board have access to it. You know, we've done a lot in East Harlem, or down in Central Harlem, but we need to come here. You know, I'm part of this neighborhood, so I want to see a lot of these loans come in, and any referrals, anything helps.
Yeah, totally agree. I know that there's a couple of businesses that you funded here. So, and I know they're good businesses. They're, you know, they're staples here in Washington Heights. So definitely agree with you. We need to bring and pull that money into Washington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
I know businesses need it.
Yeah.
So it's important. If you have, I do have UMass does have other products and other loans that they do offer. And I can, if you have any questions, or you have anybody that, you know, has questions about funding, I will refer it to Moran. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I'll leave some marketing materials and my card too, if anybody has any questions.
And also for the record, just state your contact information and your email, please.
Yes, you guys can find me at mespino@umes.org. That's M, E as in Edward, S as in Sam, P as in Peter, I like India, and like Nancy, O, at UMES, U as an umbrella, M as in Mary, E as in Edward, Z like Z.org.
All right. Thank you so much, Moran.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Okay, moving on in our agenda. This is my favorite, budgets. Who loves budgets? Right? So, last meeting in September, we discussed certain things that some ideas that should be. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. So we discussed certain,
Might work even.
so we discussed certain ideas about the budget, and there's capital expenses, and then there is, budget expenses. What is it called? Is it budget? It's,
Capital and expense.
yeah, capital and expense, sorry, drawing blank. Capital and expense. And I want to hear from the committee, and some of the board members that are here. What are some ideas that you guys have that you want to include in our budget? Obviously, these are just recommendations that we're going to forward it to the general board, and then we're going to land on a priority as a general board to then forward it. But it's important for us to chime in and make sure that the committee is represented in this budget. These are expense. There you go. Thank you. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear some ideas. I have ideas myself, and I shared some of them last month. So, do you guys have any ideas or came up with any ideas that you want to include in the expense budget and in the capital budget?
I think on the capital end, our number one we should keep, just because it ranked high
Okay.
amongst the whole board, and I think it is needed to expand
Mhm.
NYC small business support centers.
Absolutely.
And single location.
Yes, and we mentioned that last meeting, and definitely high. I think the support center, there's I think two, not solution centers, but support centers. There's only another one is in Queens. So I definitely think that we need one up here, and allocating some of the budget to building one here in Washington Heights. Will benefit not just only Washington Heights, but all of the Bronx and upper Manhattan. So definitely something we can include in the budget for sure. So we have that one. So we'll mark that one because we will be voting. We have quorum. We will be voting on these priorities tonight, and we want to forward this list to the general board. So that's why we need a quorum today. So we have one item on the expense, on the capital, which is the expansion of the support centers.
Is there another copy of the capital by any chance?
Oh yeah, I got it. I got you. Yeah. So we have that. So we look at.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
The weatherproofing. It says it's like strictly for outdoor dining, but I mean, couldn't that be for any business that might need it, like a business is struggling, just, even with like ceiling doors and things to keep heat in, or,
Flooding.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, there's got some, expand upon that weatherproofing so that businesses aren't, their profits aren't getting eaten up to, like you said, from heat, cold, the elements.
Sorry, yes, sorry, Alexis. Maureen, what's your email again?
It's MESPINO at umez.org.
And you have a business number?
212.
Yep.
410.
5676.
56. First time I remember that.
5776.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Would have been 2 years.
There you go, Naomi. I just dropped that in the chat for you. To your point, Alexis, yeah, I agree.
Take out the O. No O.
No O?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry, thank you. So no O.
No O, yeah, no.
It's important. Just be with me here. Okay. All right. Okay,
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you so much,
Oh,
man.
man,
We'll
appreciate
talk.
it, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah. All right, man, take care.
Take care.
All right, man.
Good to see you, Dean.
All right.
You too.
All right. So, to your point, Alexis, agreed, right? I think that it's important to just, weatherproof the whole structure, right? Not just the outdoor dining. But just to let you know, remember, that new outdoor dining is, the new regulations are coming out, and some of these businesses are gonna have to, and to Bruce, I don't know if Bruce is still here with us, but Bruce mentioned this last meeting, they're gonna have to tear these down if they're out of code, right? Or they're, not within the regulations. And they're gonna have to rebuild it. So I think that part of this fund needs to be that, we need some budgets, some funds allocated to kind of help businesses recreate that. Yeah. Like, let's do a fund, and this is kind of an expense item. A fund to, well, no, this will probably be, it's a capital, all right.
Anything with a shelf life over 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely would be, it would be a capital budget. So a fund to a waterproof businesses.
Yeah, not just for restaurants, for,
Yeah, businesses in general.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And then maybe we can also create a fund for the creation of rebuilding outdoor seating. All right. So we have 3 for capital. And then we had another one here last year. But I think we got that. We wished it and it came true. So we do have permanent dining, so we don't have to worry about that any longer. So we have 3 for capital. Any other ideas before I get to mine? Mm-hmm.
Would like a database be a capital or an expense thing? Like last year, we were talking about some sort of database for vendors, remember, and businesses, like a portal that they could go to. That would connect all that stuff. Would that be capital?
And that, it would be you think so?
I don't
know. Like, would we be building?
Yeah, I think it would be an expense.
Yeah.
It would be an expense.
Okay.
So what would this, Masita, what would this, like?
It's from last year, when we were talking about, when we made our list last year, remember?
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a database. Do you remember, Carl?
Yeah.
Some sort of it's not.
Oh, okay. Yes. I remember. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the business resource guide.
Yeah.
That's our next item on the thing. Yes.
Okay. Can we have that on as our capital?
The business resource guide, we're working on it here, but I think we had like a physical copy, so we can have physical copies of the business resource guide. I think that's what it was.
But I think it should be online too. Like, I think it should be a bunch of different ways to be accessible.
Like a website.
Like a website.
Yeah, like
Okay.
of course.
A website might be, a website is probably better.
Okay, a development of a resource guide.
Yeah, but also physical, because some people.
Right. And so virtual, okay, so we'll do a virtual.
So for both print and online.
Yeah.
Like a one-stop shop for, I guess, business owners, and would it be consumers as well, though?
For anybody.
For anybody to go, yeah, anybody.
Okay.
So virtual and physical resource guide. Some of the things that I want to keep from the expense is providing funding for cannabis education. And the increased funding to NYC Business Solution Centers and the SBS. Increase funding to SBS. And we'll just leave it at SBS because they, they have the support centers and the business solution centers. So I have 3 and 3 here. Without sharing any other ideas, capital, for capital, I have an expansion of the small business support centers. Yeah. So for capital, I got expansion of the small business support centers. And then I have the fund to waterproof businesses in general. And then a fund to help for the creation of these new rebuilding outdoor seating. For expense right now, I have the virtual website and physical resource guide for everyone to access. And providing funding for education, cannabis education, and increased funding. And number 3 is the increased funding to the SBS. Any other ideas?
I'm sorry, providing, I'm just reminding.
Providing,
Funding for the cannabis.
yeah, and providing increased funding to the SBS.
Increased funding to the SBS. This one, right?
That's,
What about this hiring of Spanish-speaking health inspectors designated to this district? I think that's really important.
oh, yes, I missed that one. Yes. Yes.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
When you guys are talking about using the ones that they didn't mention, does that include removing the ones that are already there and just keeping those 3?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, starting a new list.
A new list.
Not the ones that we have currently, because this is from last year's budget.
I think,
Got
for me,
down to, I'll be back.
Mhm.
You guys are here for the next, like, half hour.
Yeah, because we're gonna, we still make quorum without you, so you're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back though.
Yeah, for sure.
oh, I guess what I was just gonna say is I think for me, I would like it with the weatherproofing if it was more like environmental. You know what I mean? I feel
Okay.
like that gives us more of a window of like making sure that it's environmentally sound.
Okay, so,
Because I feel like there'll be money for them to be weatherproofed, these businesses, I would think, if there's a code that they have to meet and it's a new thing. So I feel like maybe we made some sort of standard in funding so that they could be environmentally, whatever, if they need filtration or weatherproofing or whatever it is, but
so maybe,
broaden the language. Well, not too broad though.
okay.
Since Mancita's already on that one, can someone, whoever has insight from last year, share a little bit about the latter safer street initiatives and cost investment? I'm trying to see how that ties with the weatherproofing for outdoor dining.
So it was kind of just to invest in the outdoor spaces of the businesses. Because at that time, we didn't know whether outdoor dining was going to be permanent. So we were kind of pushing our budget to invest in that, in plazas, and in those streets. So it was kind of we encompassed all of it in one budget item. Yeah. So that's why we're trying to narrow it now and make sure that we make sure that our budget items, and this budget item, let it be known that it was kind of a repeat of like the year before, right? So the reason why I'm focusing on this budget now, making sure that we get new ideas is because of that. We want to make sure that our rank is higher.
So we can cut stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we have 3 on each side, on capital and on expense. Yeah.
I'm open to new ideas.
Yeah.
Do we have the register to see the feedback that we got from
So
OMB on it? Like if they actually followed through with it?
yeah, we do have that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That's it. Also, you can see on that is where we ranked on the general board on the left
Darn,
hand
I'm gonna
side.
have to look for it.
I mean, our first one is really strong.
Mhm.
The expand MSC small business support. center.
Yes, for our expenses, yeah, for sure. So I'll get into some of my own ideas, and you know, this is something that is very present, and this is kind of a capital budget item. So there is, and I mentioned this last month, there are rent relief programs for residential, you know, people who are backed up on rent, and but there aren't any on commercial leases. No. So the SBS has a negotiation department where you can negotiate your lease to, you know, be lowered or whatnot. But there's no, throughout the pandemic, there was no rent relief for our businesses. So I think it's very important that this gets done, and I think it should be high on our priority, because it's affecting the margins. And
Because a commercial lease is always gonna be in favor of the landlord, while a residential lease is always in favor of
the tenant, you know.
Yeah,
And
so
it
I think
should
that's
be
important.
in favor of it. Yeah, exactly.
Any tenant, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so we're gonna do rent relief program for commercial properties.
That's a capital, right?
I would think that would, yeah, capital, yes, yeah.
Need a lot of money. So we can get, we can replace like the weatherproof.
I think I think they're both, yeah, we can add to it. So rent relief program for commercial properties.
That's great. That's a really good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important.
That's why we're saying everyone brought it up.
No, we don't. As you can see, Parks and Culturals had huge, right? So, and we want to just get as many, right? Make sure that we're there in some way. So how can we combine those two? Rent relief program for commercial properties. Okay, we'll combine them. Let me just get to my next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say so.
Combine the waterproof and the rent relief program, or maybe we can keep it separate.
The rent relief is really strong. And it
Yeah,
should be
by itself.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
okay.
I think it's all businesses.
I do agree with that. That's cool. Okay. All right. So, so I showed last month the opportunity fund, and I'm gonna show it again. So this, maybe I can share the screen here. Okay, so. So this is the opportunity fund. And it was such a big hit in February that it shut down in the matter of weeks. So no credit necessary. No, no two years of income statements. It was truly a startup fund that got so filled with requests that they stopped because of the high level of interest. So I think that this has to be in our budget, just because it's going to help so many startups, get funding. And these are grants, not loans. So an increased funding to the New York City Small Business Opportunity Fund is going to be on the capital budget.
I feel like I'm cutting you off, Emily, like you want to expand on the outdoor dining.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was just referring to the register to see what OMB had to say as feedback for the items that we currently have, because if we leave them on there, because we find that it's important, but then the feedback says OMB doesn't agree with it, or if we already have another item that we're like supporting, like this one is null and void or whatever, then we should probably do some changes to how the statement is written.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, the capital budget request for SBS, it says this project was funded in a prior fiscal year and the preliminary design contract has been let. I don't know what that means.
Let me see it.
Has been let.
Mm-hmm.
If I put a star next to it. And then the feedback, it's like, it kind of says like, it's like, should we rephrase it then? If that's their.
No, I
feedback?
think that project was funded in the prior fiscal year and the preliminary design fund.
Well, do we have to put pressure on them to see this funding? or something?
Yeah, I mean that's probably the part of the office's job, and I'll follow up with that. Do you think that we should still put it in our budget, or do you think that because the project is funded, we shouldn't?
I mean, that's the issue that I have even in like housing, because I also have to do the budget for that one. And I just find that follow-up with these items is just like ridiculous. I've never heard any follow-up with the items that we placed in the budget ranking since we put it.
Okay.
I'm gonna copy that one.
Yeah. I'll take a look at that.
So I'm
Yeah,
not too
copy
sure. I don't know what that means,
So-
like be let.
Just to her point, I think she wanted a copy, and I was gonna say it's in the email that was sent out.
Yeah, they sent it to everyone. I'll forward it to you.
Like if it's funded a
Upstairs.
prior fiscal,
It's a look.
if it's funded a prior fiscal year, does that mean that it wasn't considered for this one? Or it's like,
It's probably and then I'm just guessing here, but I think it's gonna be and I have to follow up with the office. That is probably already allocated. Those funds already allocated for something like that. And it was probably done that fiscal year or prior fiscal year. But I would have to get back to you with that. So we have 5 items on, but I do think that we should still put it on this year's priority lists. And if I do follow up and it's already been funded or it's already been seen by our budget, then we can take it off, no problem. But I would still recommend that we do put it on our budget this year.
and how about, just to go down the line, creation of an initiative with a city agency to facilitate the optimization of outdoor dining areas, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that one says, further study by the agency of this request is needed, therefore OMB does not take any position.
So that's already been done, right? So we already have permanent outdoor dining.
Okay,
So we're not even including that in our list this year.
okay.
So we're good on that one.
What does it say about the weatherproofing?
The weatherproofing, it says something similar. Further study of the agency of this request is needed, therefore OMB does not take any position. So
That's
they're just
interesting.
doing studies, like, what does that
Maybe
mean?
they're expensive to be a study, we did in our committee, sure. Yeah. Funds for a study to, I mean, I don't know what the study would be, but that's also an option.
There's a lot about.
Right.
No.
So that would be the first step.
That would be interesting to get somebody in here from Con Ed.
We had them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had them.
Sorry.
We had them. No, you're good. We had them last in the spring. Somebody from Con Ed actually shared about a grant that they have to
Yeah, they did,
make
yeah.
their build like businesses energy efficient and like a reimbursement program. So it was, yeah.
So if I'm understanding correctly, our number 2 and number 3 were kind of like kicked off. They were like, we can't really do anything. We need further study.
This is number 2 and the expense.
Yeah, with the, no, with capital.
Oh, with capital, okay.
Yeah, with the So it sounds like they don't,
They're just studying it.
They're just
not
studying
in
it.
any Position. I don't know, like, is that something that we should just like rephrase so that,
I don't know.
because you already rephrased the third one on outdoor, weatherproofing. How we could add the component of like making it sustainable and eco-friendly.
Okay,
or
maybe,
something.
yeah, maybe we could do that instead of, we can do,
Last night or, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because we do have already an item that says a fund to create, for the creation of the rebuilding of outdoor seating. Now, do we want to focus on the actual business indoors, like the actual storefront? And how so? Do we want to add sustainability and maybe have a focus on sustainability with this budget item? And is that high on our priority? All right, so we'll take a look at this one. Right, this one might be something that we have to reword. So let's. Okay. Another one that I want to tell you guys about is I was gonna have them on here is the deliveristas. So they have, and this is an
That's a
expense,
good one. I think that I already know.
right? So I'm sure we have talked about it before. So the deliveristas is a group of people that kind of gathered and made this coalition. And what they want to do is, and this is shout out to Carmen de la Rosa and her office for this, they want to build hubs for electric vehicles charging stations. Because there's been a lot of fires in recent, even this year, in recent years, due to the lithium batteries. And I think that poses a big threat. And I want to include it in here because that drives revenue for our restaurants. These delivery drivers, they're constantly moving. And I think a rest spot somewhere where they can charge their bike and like refuel is something that we need. So they're not like hauling their batteries upstairs or their whole bike upstairs causing fires. So I think it's a great item that we can propose. So I was going to have them come in, but they weren't able to come in and present this idea. But I think that we can include it in our budget, especially for a big expense.
So it's not the number one on expense. This is building a business. Oh, no, different. I saw hubs.
Yeah, no, you're good. So we're gonna build charging stations for electric scooters. Yep. So build charging stations for electric scooters. Yeah. For how would I say? How would you word it? Delivery electric scooters. Yeah. No, for yeah. Let's do electric vehicles.
Delivery workers.
Yeah.
I have a question about that. How is it, like, how would that be maintained? Like, who would be in charge of maintaining?
Those logistics, right? Like those like nuanced details, like where would the power come from, right?
Yeah.
Right? Who would maintain it? What our job is to like make sure that they do it right, like they encourage the offices to do it. But those logistics are, I thought of it myself when I spoke to the deliveristas. Not only that, like, where would it be structured? The place of where the structure would be. All of that is going to be handled by different departments. But hopefully if this gets high on our priority, an office can give us a proposal and we're like, yeah, we want it. And it hasn't been done yet in the city, but I think it's very important.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, you know, there's places where maybe they didn't put any of, you know, like the city bikes or something,
Mhm.
and they could go there.
Yeah,
Something.
I also I heard an idea like old newsstands that aren't in use anymore are a good idea. But again, those logistics, they will figure it out, but I think it's important regardless. Just to prevent those fires and make
So
it
you
easier.
don't need those details right now.
No,
It's just
no,
like-
no, we don't need those details now. Okay.
They'll definitely, you know what? That would be, some companies would go, if they would.
Oh, yeah.
Bid and they will.
Yeah, huge bid.
Go after that and, you know, try to get that money. I'm sure
Hmm.
very attractive for both ends.
Yeah, I can see that also. Okay, so, those were my ideas. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for capital, and then we have 4 for expense. Any other ideas?
Some of your notes, so I can-
Mhm.
they're online.
Gotcha, yeah, I will. So, all right, so.
I have a question. When
Go
you're
ahead.
talking about hiring Spanish-speaking health inspectors, this is in the expense
Mhm.
designated to this district, is that from Department of Labor? Or like what department or where are these health inspectors coming from?
It would,
I was just curious.
it would probably be, by, the department that does that, right? Like the health inspections.
Okay, yeah,
Would-
because I was trying to think, like, the only thing that popped to mind with ideas for me is.
Department of Building.
Is it Department of
What is it? Yeah,
Building?
'cause if there's-
Department of Health, Department. The only reason I
Yeah, Department of
asked-
Health, yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I was trying to think of like an item to add that had to do with safety and health of employees and employers. But I know that, like, you know, there's like different levels to it where there's like the OSHA level and then Department of Labor or whatever, but I just feel like a lot of people, let's say immigrants for the crisis, they come in and then they're not educated on their rights and they just like take on whatever job and they do it under the table. But if there's some kind of a funding that could educate the influx of folks that come into the city or whatever job that's taken in the city, that maybe that would like avoid more health and safety issues that are going on that are even like underreported.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're like, I can't even come up with the verbiage of what kind of words to use for something like that, but that's the only thing that's, because I'm like in that field. I just don't know
How
would I phrase it? And if I'm like stepping on other departments or agencies, because I know that OSHA, they have their thing, but it's hard for them to, you know, like people, for them to put in a complaint and they only speak Spanish or they only speak French and they're from like an African country, or like they usually won't put in a complaint just because of the process. But if there's something at the city level that could educate at least the employers, employees, because
Would that be from the business owners?
exactly. So it would be like, you would educate not just employees, because that's usually the thing where there's all these like nonprofits like mine that educate workers. But then I also feel like a lot of people are just like, I'm going to become a business owner. And then they don't really know how to like take care of their workers and they're just exploiting them.
Yeah.
So if we educate both of them and we kind of put them on the table, in the same table.
So I think our scope definitely covers on the business side. I think offering this service is more on the health and environment scope, but educating business owners on the health and safety and the intake of immigrants, of migrants is definitely something that should be put on. I think is, so maybe we can phrase it this way. Education campaign on migrant workers,
Mhm.
and
Education campaign for employers,
well, because specifically you're trying to target education for people who recently immigrated or are migrants.
Yeah, so it would be bifold. It wouldn't just be the owners, it would be workers, because it would be workers too. So it's like know your rights for them, but then know your rights for the owner. To like do that part where they give the safety and health for their workers as well.
So education campaign for business owners on health and safety
Of workers. Or just like their.
of workers generally, or you want to target a specific demographic?
In the workplace. In
Okay.
the workplace, so health
Okay.
and safety in workplace.
Okay.
what about that? I wonder if that does anything to do with, because Hochul just released that employment plan for migrant, for asylum seekers.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it just happened, literally, I think it happened earlier today.
Okay,
Where
what
she's
is it?
planning, I think providing 1,800 jobs or something.
Oh, you see, that's,
Mm.
yeah,
Like how much amount? Yeah, well, that's what it didn't say in the press release.
okay. So-
They don't think that came out in the press release.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, so what we want to do is we have, education campaign. So I'm gonna put it this way.
I got from a lobbyist, so look.
Education campaign on health and safety for newly arrived migrants. I think we should focus on that particular section of the population, just because they're really lost. You know.
That's like the SOS thing that goes off. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I
No,
do
you're
have a
good.
question.
What's up?
To your point about just focusing it on the new migrant workers, if they don't have papers yet, is the city gonna be funding if they're not legally or authorized to work yet?
So they're funding
I know they're
food.
funding that, but I'm talking about like, if they're not authorized to work yet, I think there has to be a process for that. With the city, huh?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
The city's not gonna be like, okay, so we're gonna fund on people to take jobs or people that are not legally authorized to work yet. I
Okay.
think that
Yeah.
maybe just if you guys word it, only because we're thinking about changing the wording to migrant workers. I know that they're still trying to figure that out with the city, like how to get them assimilated, like how to actually get them probably like the jobs and get them through a process where they get like a
Yeah.
sign, social security number so that they can work, right?
Right.
But
Okay. I see that. I understand that.
Yeah, so it says Governor Hochul announces 18,000 jobs available to asylum seekers and migrants as part of statewide initiative to move individuals out of shelter into independent living.
Oh, there you go.
Labor working with nearly 400 employees for asylum seekers and migrants who obtained work authorizations.
Yeah.
So maybe we can add that.
And she
Maybe
would-
we can add that.
Yeah.
So, education campaign of health and safety for migrant workers who
Have obtained.
have obtained,
Work authorization.
yeah.
Is that a state initiative or a city initiative?
It's a
It's
state.
New York State Department of Labor.
Oh.
Governor launches public awareness campaigns to help employers find and hire asylum seekers and migrants to fill critical roles across New York State.
All right.
I know we don't like going broad, but I think maybe with that, could we like say like underserved communities, including migrants, because for
Okay.
example, isn't
I
there like a
like
shelter?
I like that.
That's what I was going.
Mm-hmm.
Because there
Mm-hmm.
folks, like you were saying,
Education
who
campaign.
might feel as if they're being excluded as well from this help.
Yeah, because I feel like there's people that are already here that don't already have that knowledge
Right.
of worker safety, health, and even the employers, workers, both sides.
I think we should do something for the bodega owners. They're going through so much recently with the crime, people running in there and doing all types of crazy stuff. I saw someone talking today about,
The grant? Oh,
about-
sorry.
or it might be linked to it about they want to do put certain security measures where the door can automatically lock if they need to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if we have some type of funding or grant.
So there currently is a grant. There currently is a grant. And I will get you that information. That there is a security grant that installs a POS system, cameras, and a panic button. So if you know constituents that need that, I'm gonna forward you that info ASAP. Let me just,
That's a big.
yeah, absolutely. That's a big one.
Well, maybe we could do something.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, you,
No, I was just
Oh.
thinking maybe we could do something to, I don't know, spread the word and. No. Am I on it?
no.
Is it plugged in there?
Yeah, it should be. Okay. I want it to go out. Okay, it is plugged. Okay, so we have 6 items. 6 items for capital. And we have 5 items for expense. So just give me a second while I do this. There we go.
You guys met yet for housing?
No, we meet this Thursday. I'm scared.
What time?
We have one meeting. Yeah, yeah.
Last week, last month.
Yeah, I just feel like time flew. It's at 7 p.m. So please come, because that budget's gonna be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's, I mean, I got this kid that works for OnPoint, a job in my building, a security, but he's been like stuck at the dough fund. And his voucher is only for $12.35, and he's 23, he's working 2 jobs, he's doing everything he's gotta do. But where's he gonna find an apartment for $12.35? And they'll pay it for a year and all that stuff. But where's it? That's,
It doesn't even exist out here.
I know.
I'm trying to move and it's impossible. It's double, triple. Whatever they know.
Yeah.
I even reached out to my landlord and said, hey, in your portfolio, do you have anything? He's like, I hate to tell you, that kid couldn't even get a block house in the Bronx for that price.
That's crazy.
And it was blunt to say, but it's blunt. And maybe not the correct way to put it,
Yeah.
but it's the truth. So I reached out to Mark Levine's office to see. Because you're not gonna get out of that system.
Right.
It's just crazy how we have to do that.
So I'm just organizing it so we can vote on the priority.
Okay.
And then, so I just want everybody to, I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. I'm organizing it. So we can vote on which ones you guys want at a higher priority, right? Okay. Yeah, somebody's phone. With me? Oh. Okay. And the last one here is
In terms of like the verbiage, like how you're writing it, you could still clean it up in the back end,
Yeah.
or you have to decide that right now?
No, I could clean it up on the back end.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay, so we have the first one, which is our capital. And I'm going to share the screen. So can everybody see that? It's probably like a little. That's pretty bad.
Me too.
Why is it so small? The font size. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let's do that. All right. How's that? So, all right, so we have 6 items. So, and this is for our capital, excuse me, our expense budget. So we have virtual resource guide, right? We have an education campaign for cannabis. Increased funding for the small business services of NYC, New York City. And we have building electric vehicle charging stations for delivery drivers. Hiring Spanish-speaking health inspectors for designated district. An education campaign for business owners on health and safety for underrepresented communities, including migrants. So we have these 6. We can either do this publicly, we can vote on it publicly, or you guys can individually rank them. And then you just pass it on to me and then we'll.
Can we do it as a Google Doc and we share it?
I think we have to do it in this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have to do it in this meeting, yeah.
Well, maybe that was because of the pandemic. We were
Yeah,
doing that.
Mhm.
That's-
Yeah, we have to do it here in this meeting. We gotta vote
That's
for it.
why we used to do that. Oh, I knew there was a reason.
It was nice stuff.
All right, can we come up with like a definite number 1?
What's this?
I like the lithium battery.
Is this expense or capital?
This is expense.
Okay.
and we come up with a definite number one. I love that number one. Electrical vehicle charging stations.
My number one is the last one, because that's my industry. So.
Okay.
And there's just a grammatical error on changing the charging station.
Yeah, that's
There's probably tons of them.
Oh, okay.
And I even wrote changing stations. I looked at them there.
Wait, last
Mhm.
year, I don't know how it was we did it. Was it each person did their own ranking? And then
That's how we did it last. That we did it like that. Because we were at home, but maybe we could do that now. So, I don't have any. Let me see if I can get like.
You could do another like column for each person.
Say it again.
You could do like another column for each person and
Okay.
then average it out maybe. Oh,
Hey, he's back.
Guys, what did I miss?
Oh, nothing. You're right on time.
No snacks, no snacks.
So let me see if I can get like a piece of paper.
You guys are gonna vote.
Yeah. it does. Mhm.
Well, now I'm thinking, since it's building electric vehicles, wouldn't that be capital?
This is capital.
I thought we said it was
No, that's
expense.
expensive.
No, this is capital.
Is it? Oh. Right, hold on.
No.
No, it is. It is.
I'm not really sure how
It
you
is.
guys are-
It is.
I'm not really sure how you guys are categorizing
Capital.
this thing. You guys go up and down with the categories.
Well, it's, it's whatever is, a capital is gotta have a shelf life of at least 10 years.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying, if it's
Building,
building something. that's
it's
like
capital, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So every, maybe we could just do this openly instead of writing it down. So, maybe we'll start, I'll give you guys a few minutes to, think about an order, of how you guys want this ranked. And then we'll go down the list.
We're taking the electric vehicle out of that.
Wait,
Yes.
Capital, right? okay.
This is expense. Isn't it? Because. I'm confused. Wait,
Okay, hit me.
education campaign is on the expense one.
Yeah. What I'm saying, just the electric vehicle thing should be changed to capital
The hiring.
because it
Senate,
has to be built.
Taking health inspectors, that's expense.
Yeah,
It's just that one
Yeah.
item.
Yeah, it's just that
Yeah.
one
yeah,
item.
just that one.
Okay.
If it has to get moved.
It has to be moved to capital. Okay.
So maybe we could do another tab for capital.
Yeah, I have it here, but we haven't worked on it, so I'm just doing it one at a time. Okay, so this actually is expense. All right, and this one, right, this will be. Okay,
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Thank you so much for having me again. My name is Carmen Paulino. I'll see you guys.
Carmen.
thanks.
This is the part where you guys vote, so I'm not part of it.
Thank you for,
For allowing me to share some thoughts and for welcoming me today.
Of
yeah,
course.
thank you for stopping by. Bye.
See you soon. Will you text me your email, please? Never mind, I'll text.
No, you're good. So we have a virtual resource guide education campaign, increased funding I'm gonna unmute here and hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. Okay. I don't know who else is here. It's just, is Hector, can you hear me? Hector, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, okay. Yeah,
Holding number 4.
thank you so much, appreciate it.
Popped up.
Of
It's
course.
green froze and he was gonna just.
Yeah, I saw that, thank you. So. Oh, it's because I muted myself, Bruce, I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Bruce has to.
Yeah. Bruce, can you hear me now?
Yes, I didn't know what was wrong with my computer.
Okay, you're good, you're good.
Okay. I'm not allowed to vote because I'm not there, but
yeah.
That's
No.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it has to be in person.
Yeah, wow.
But you still can be part of quorum.
No,
No.
You can have discussion, you can participate in discussion.
only, yeah. So,
Influence somebody.
Carl, let me get your order, please.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4, 2, 7, 3, 6.
4, 2, 7,
3, 6.
3, 6. Okay. Okay, good. And for you, how you spell your name again?
RAH.
RAH, sorry.
D like David, IA.
IAH. Like that? Radaya.
Randaya, Vance.
Radia.
Radia, yeah. Okay, great. Good.
4, 6, 3, 2, 7.
4, 3,
4, 6,
4, 3, 2, 7. So. Okay, so I mean, without, well, I'll put mine, and I'll just put, what's that, so I definitely have 4, 2, and I have 3. Uh, 7, 6. So I think that our number 1 is definitely 4. Right? We're gonna put number 1.
The increase for the SPS, right?
Yep. Yes, still see there or no? I could put it all in one screen. Okay. All right, so we have 1 here. Our 2, just seeing from the votes here, I have the majority have said number 2, a virtual resource guide is our number 2. And then 3, I'm seeing that 3, yeah, 3 have voted for an education on cannabis. So that's our number 3.
Wait, they voted for that as their
Mhm.
third one?
As their 3rd one. So we have Alexis, Rodaya, and myself. 3, as that number 3. That's the number 3 spot. Now, now 6, let's see here. 6 is voted.
It might be,
They might be last, yeah.
just because 7.
7 for,
tied, like,
yeah.
you average it.
Yeah, the higher one is 7. So that's gonna be our 4th one. And the 5th one is
What's number 4?
so education campaign for business owners. Okay. How we doing there? Good, we got through 1. Right?
And that, this one has the most items, so.
Which one?
So-
Yeah.
This one has most items, so the next one. has
Wait,
the-
I'm sorry. So we have number 1 is the increase for small business.
Mhm.
service. Number 2 is the virtual resource guide. Number 3 is the education campaign for cannabis. Number 4 is campaign for business owners on health and safety. So, and then number 4, are we just leaving out the Spanish speaking?
That's number 5.
Oh, that's, I'm so stupid.
No.
No, really, I'm getting dottier than I care to admit.
I don't even know how you guys are doing that, like, it looks like you guys are eyeballing. There's a lot of-
So,
I don't know how I'm gonna survive. There's something lit.
You know,
I'll support you virtually.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'll be at work, so I can't come here.
You know, I would invite them on this board and give everybody Post-its and let them post.
Post it,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then you can just look at that way.
yeah.
I think there's less people now.
Okay.
What committee, this one?
Housing.
Oh, housing.
Yeah.
Guys have a lot.
That's what Liz used to do in parks when we were meeting in person.
Yeah.
She wrote them all on this board and then everybody got Post-it notes and everybody put like. their
That's
number one.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm doing that next year, I
Yeah.
swear. So I'm just writing these down for you guys. So take a look at it and we'll vote on it on this one.
But how would you average it out?
Because we had all like, so, we would just look at it. So you would see like whoever actually had the most votes, that would be like number one. It would literally would
most
count the
Post-its,
Post-it
right,
notes.
Right,
Mhm.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Mhm.
So,
that's really smart.
yeah,
That's smart. That's smart.
you know, so if you would see if like how many people had number one under there, you know, everybody had like their little Post-it notes and then she just looked at it that way and said, okay. She wrote it from there.
That's good. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So. Right, so. We just have. Okay. Okay. I'll put them on the board. Let me just share. Okay. So since we weren't able to find like the wording for the waterproof, I did not include it. I don't know if you guys want to include it. And if so, what wording should I use?
On the
You mean
capital.
like verbiage?
Huh?
You
The
mean like-
verbiage of sustainability, right? We were in the realm of sustainability. Maybe fund to increase businesses sustainability, structural sustainability, right?
This is why you're the chair.
Here we go. So,
Oh, Bruce has a question.
okay.
What does that mean to the small business owner? I don't know what you mean.
What does that mean? I mean, so it would just increase the sustainability and the carbon footprint of the business owner. But I think the fund is to provide like what it like the actual build of that is coming from the city. not from the builders not the business owners themselves.
So they want, but you're looking, we're saying it's for another office space, right? So for them to have another,
No, it would just be for their current business to become more sustainable.
Bruce, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, you know, Alexis mentioned that earlier, the Con Edison program that does like a reimbursement for more sustainable. So we mentioned that earlier, and they Con Edison does have that program. So yeah.
is that similar to what you just?
Yeah,
Oh,
very similar.
okay, is that good or bad?
I mean, Con Edison already does it.
So then
Does it?
maybe, so then maybe we should leave it off.
Yeah, maybe we should leave it off.
Yeah,
You're
'cause-
right.
yeah, because they also have grants. So they changed their funding scope. They used to give just to like, they used to give everywhere.
Mm,
So let's say, so about 5 years ago, they changed their scope and any cultural organization got grandfathered in,
mm,
but for like $5,000.
mm.
Now what they focus on is for people writing grants that is going to be more green,
Okay.
environmentally friendly. So that actually they have a grant program for buildings to do that.
Okay, so maybe we can leave it off.
Yeah.
All right. So we have these items here. See if I can delete this. It allows me to delete that. Okay, great. So we have 5 items here. So we have the expansion of the New York City Small Business Opportunity Fund, the building of the electrical vehicle charging stations for delivery drivers, a fund for the creation on the rebuilding of outdoor seating after new regulations, the rent relief program for commercial tenants, and an increase. Oh, I put that twice. Here it is.
That's what it's.
All right. Expansion. Oh, this is the one I missed. And
Question.
yeah.
So with the rent relief program for commercial tenants, can we specify that it's like small businesses and not like McDonald's or Target or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah,
'Cause they have
yes.
funding.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
It's just so sad, you see, like you were saying, things boarded up or like, because the rent is like $30,000 and it doesn't make sense for.
Commercial tenants. Small business. All right, so. And this is. All right. So we have 5. So this is the building of that there. Although that last one was included in like a resolution last year, we're gonna put it in there just in case. So we have the expand of NYC Small Business Opportunity Fund, the building of electric vehicles charging stations for delivery drivers, the fund for the creation of the rebuilding of outdoor seating after new regulations, rent relief program for commercial tenants of small businesses, and build New York City Small Business Support Center in our district.
I am so sorry. I'm
Mhm.
apologizing in advance because I am being one of those board members that usually
No.
drives me crazy.
Oh.
So,
You're good, you're good. No, let's.
so, um,
I hope it's the same question.
wouldn't
Fun.
expanding the New York City Small Business Opportunity Fund, or shouldn't that be expense? And not capital, because it's a fund.
Mm.
I'm just being honest. I don't know.
What is it? What can you use it for?
Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. I mean,
What did Bruce
Yeah,
say?
what is-
Say it again, Bruce, I'm sorry.
What are you allowed to use it for? Is it capital or is it business expenses?
It
I don't-
is capital, so.
So
it's
if
a
I want
small
to expand
fund.
I want to expand my business, bring in new equipment so I can make more hamburgers, that's capital.
So we should be, maybe
So-
more specific.
So the small business opportunity fund is for startup capital.
Oh.
Um,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah. Capital, yeah. You know, I'm just gonna put it just to make sure.
Don't worry, we'll fix it later.
Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. So we have all 5 there. So I'll give you guys a minute. Sorry. No, it's right there. That's all right. Let me know when you guys are ready. So there's new regulations on outdoor seating that's gonna cause business owners to tear down their old outdoor seating.
Is this something new? Or is it something?
No, it's new one.
Okay.
No, all right. All right, hit me out.
Wait, is that me?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, why did I put
And I'm
Ashley?
looking like, did I miss somebody?
Hey, what?
I was like, it's not her, it wasn't someone here earlier.
Yeah,
It's getting late. It's okay. It's the lady who was here.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that her name? The
Is she-
lady from,
Oh,
I think.
Oh, yes. that was-
From Life
yes,
Insurance.
yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
Yes. Thank you. Good one. Good. It's late. It's late.
Okay, so mine is,
Okay.
2,
Mhm.
6, 5,
Mhm.
3, 4.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
6.
Yeah, 6.
So I think I did right this time. So
Six,
6,
yeah.
then 5,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4.
Thank you. Okay. Alexis.
I wasn't as smart as you to try to figure it out beforehand. So let's see, number 5,
Mm-hmm.
number 3,
Mm-hmm.
number 6,
Mm-hmm.
number 2,
Okay.
and then number 4.
Okay. The diet. Mm-hmm.
5,
Oh, yeah, so 3, 4, 2,
5.
5, 6. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
5, 2, 6, 4, 3.
Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. So. I didn't even get to. I think it's. Hmm. Mhm. Let's see. Okay. So. All right. So I do see a.
We can switch my 5 and 6, so we can make 5 because I think it's important.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
English real.
Go back in there.
Not.
So 5. So we have a priority. This is great. Rent relief no. Yes. Right. Yes. Rent relief program for commercial tenant. Yes. So we had. Let's see what number 2 is. Rent relief program. See the line.
3, then actually, no.
It might be a tie, but I do see that 6s are high priority. So Emily, you have number 2 as 6. You Mancita also 2. Lexi have it as number 3. And so does Carl.
Well, number 4 might be last. So what number?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Maybe it would be like the last 2. I'm kind of skipping 2 and 6, but it wouldn't go like the 4th, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to have the least amount, right?
Yeah, number 4 definitely. Yes, number 4. Yes, number 4.
Last place.
Yeah.
So 3 might be.
Could be 6 next. Are we at number 2? Second one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then we probably
5. I have. Okay, so I have 5 here.
It's probably a tie between 6 and 3.
Yeah, I see that 3 is high on some. But I see that you have it high, and Alexis, you do have it high to build. And so do I. 3 and 6, but Carl, you have
6 in third place.
Yeah. So you might be the tiebreaker here. And
All
put
right.
and
So
put
I'll give it
6.
to 6 then.
Yeah, I'll give it to 6 too. For number 2, and number 3 is gonna be 3. And then by default, then number 4. Yeah.
That's important, right?
Mhm.
Because that's like that thing you showed us that
Mhm.
like sold out, or not sold out, but like.
Yeah, but,
Can we submit all of these though?
yeah, we're submitting all of them. It's just our committee priority.
That is.
So we have number 1 as the rent relief program, which think for the most part, we do agree. And then number two, it was contention, but I think build NYC small business support centers in our district. And then number three is to build the electric vehicles charging station.
Two is the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Three.
Is the electric vehicles. And then four, we have the NYC expansion of Small Business Opportunity Fund. And number five is the funds for the creation of the rebuilding of the outdoor seating after new regulation.
Because I think, one of the reasons it was low for me is the business owners are gonna have to decide even if it's even gonna be
A
worth
thing.
it for them.
Mm-hmm. If
Or
they want to.
want it or not,
Yeah, just logistically, if they want that there. Okay, so we have our expense and capital items. Good job. I know that this is also always daunting at this budget meeting. I know you guys have other committees. Pretty sure mine is gonna be a lot of fun in licensing. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be, yes. It's gonna be intense.
We got Parks and
It's a fun
Health.
one. I love
It's
that.
fun, yeah, it's intense in there.
I love that committee.
But
So-
also, I think Parks and Culture
Yeah.
used to be a lot of fun, and God rest her soul, I miss her desperately every day. But it was actually kind of fun to do it with like Sally Fisher.
Mm.
When she-
Oh, wow, yeah. I was here, I got here the year that she passed. No. Yeah. So just to move the agenda along, no, do we have any new business? No. Any old business? My only old business is that this resource guide, I'm waiting for the fellowship from we're gonna get a fellow to work on the resource guide and get this data. Crossing my fingers. We submit it. First is gonna be physical. Like like a newsletter, like an email newsletter, like a PDF. But this budget item is it's to include it in a virtual way that you can look it up and we can share it. That's why we put it in the budget.
And it would be like on the 612 website,
Mm-hmm.
or
Like or like even an application, right?
have you seen the CB9's like website?
No, it's
So all their stuff is digital. Come
You
on,
see?
what's up, CB12?
12, right? So that's
Yeah.
what
Happening.
They
that's
tell
what
you exactly
All
what
the
schools.
are on a
Mhm.
calendar that's online, and all you have to do is just click on it. They'll show you the Zoom link and you just pop in, and you could hop from meeting to meeting if you are like a public or whatever member.
Oh wow. I gotta see that. I'm gonna jump on
They
that.
even
Yeah.
have a resource directory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can look at exactly what schools are in that area,
Oh, we need to
where the libraries are,
need
etc.
to infiltrate.
Yeah.
That are in there, and like, I was looking at it, and even.
That's
I
good.
think this is so I think it's good that you brought this up, because housing has also been thinking about doing a resource directory. So
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea to
It's a
like
very good idea.
Yeah, the
combine forces in that, or I feel like all the committees would benefit. from
benefit
that.
in some way, yeah.
Cause we need to get with the program. I'm not about this, like, come on now.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, we're gonna continue to work on that. I'm just waiting for the response for the fellowship. Any announcements? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn? Can I get a second? All right, it's 9:45. Business Development Committee meeting has adjourned.
Awesome.
All right, done.